Right, welcome to another episode of Talks About You. And I said it's like one of the reasons why I started this thing is just like people have amazing journey that don't get talked about enough, especially the girl child. I think they are one of the most amazing people you could have conversation with because their perspective is always very different and very interesting. And I have with me today the amazing Aminat. How you doing?
Hi guys, how are we? I'm well, thank you.
How have you been?
I've been well. Can we do something before I start?
Yeah.
So I feel like we was talking about God earlier, and I'm really like in a point in my life where I feel like I'm looking back and I'm like everything that I am is because of God. And now that you've brought me here today, can we just quickly do like a 2-minute prayer for whoever's listening to this?
Oh yeah, please. Will you lead us in prayer?
Should I lead us?
Yeah,
guys. I'm not holy pastor, but I'm in this era now.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying it. I said it in one of my episodes when I was in Lagos. I don't think I care about what people see me as. It's a personal relationship between me and God.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. There's nobody that's Jesus' secretary, man. So, lead us in prayer.
Okay.
I will enjoy that.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, Lord, I pray that you guide us. I pray that you speak through us. And
Amen.
I pray that every single person that is about to listen to this is touched in
Amen.
some way or form.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I think that's interesting for me. And I would like to start from there. You are Aminat and you big on Jesus. So, walk me through that.
I went to Liku when I was young. I can recite the Quran and everything.
Can you pray like the Islamic way?
Yeah. I said I can recite the Quran.
Legend. So how did you become a Christian?
So I went to a Christian school, a secondary school.
What school is that?
St. Martin's. It was in London. So I guess I felt like I had a stronger relationship with Christ than I did with Allah. I think because I was perhaps forced into the religion. Growing up, and like they beat me in the masjid, and I was just like, what is this? Like, how can you be smacking me? Like, my parents don't smack me. Why are you guys smacking me? Anyway, so then I went to a Christian school, and then I learned that God is love and like Jesus is kind and all of these great things. So I just stood on that path and I developed a better relationship with Christ that way.
Okay. So, I think that is very interesting for me. Like, growing up, you went to a Christian school, you were from a Muslim home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you have your formative days.
Just tap this. There's a string hanging.
Oh, thank you. Oh, God bless you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so, like, growing up, your formative days, you have a little bit of both, like Christian side and the Islamic side, and you understand I think you have a good understanding of both fundamentals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you've been in church, you've been in mosques,
yeah.
You understand what both is.
Yeah.
So my question now in that is, you know that God is love.
Yeah.
And God is love in both religions.
Absolutely, yeah.
So how do you make that conscious decision? Like, is it when you grew up or when you were young to decide like, okay, this is the one I really want to practice?
I was probably about like 11 when I decided that I wanted to be Christian.
11?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. That's when I went to secondary school.
And that's when you became born again?
I became born again probably 13, 14.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, all my life, all I've known is church because, typical African child story.
Yeah.
I'm always at the back of my mom, so there's nothing else you want to do. I'm tied to my mother, like, yeah, I grew up around my mother. I think the first time I left home was when I was like 19, and she was
okay.
Wow, that's still early. But so I know God, like, those fundamentals for me was God. So how were you able to navigate life holding on to that? Because you actually started early, like you became a Christian at 14. So how has that informed your decision in everything you've been able to do? I know like you're into politics, entertainment. There's a lot for us to talk about. I just want us to build the foundation. Like, how has that been the fundamental of everything you've done?
I just feel like with God all things are possible.
Yes.
And I feel like the way God has blessed me and the way my story has like formed, nothing makes sense. Like, if you explain where I am now or the people that I have access to or the opportunities that I've had by book, if you even try to calculate like things like my age or like where I come from, or like, it just doesn't add up. And I feel like it can only be God's grace, and my life has always just led by that. Like, everything that has happened to me has been by the grace of God. It's not been by my power. So I think you can be so skilled, you can be so qualified, but like nothing beats God's favor and God's grace.
Yeah, I mean, I think I used to say like, what's like your favorite Bible verse? Like I have mine. Like I think mine is two coined into one. I have two things. I have two Bible verses on my mind that's coined into one. I used to like Zechariah 4:6.
Yeah.
It's not about power, not about might. And like Matthew 19:26. So I use it to form one for me.
Yeah.
Not about power, not about might, because with God all things are possible.
I think
That's my favorite.
I think we're the same, definitely.
That's your favorite.
Yeah,
Bible
100%.
Like with God all things are possible.
I feel like God
does.
doesn't give you ideas like without purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about something, for example, this podcast, like you've done amazing with it, and it was probably just a seed. And I feel like with a lot of things that we want to do, we have the idea, but like God that gave you the idea, it's gonna happen for you. Like it's not just an ideology for ideology's sake. Like trust in yourself, trust in your ability, and trust in God to make the impossible possible.
Yeah, I think that's very true for my podcast. Like I keep saying it because I've manifested some people. I've been able to talk to some people that, even my guys that I pitched it to when I was leaving Lagos, I was going to have a podcast in London, and they're like, "How are you going to do it?" I'll be like, I can't explain to you this moment. Like just me being able to talk to you is like special in itself. So how did you, like, from being young, having God at the back of your mind, how did you decide like entertainment and politics? You know, those kind of things that it has a stereotype. Like people don't think you can be in entertainment and know God. People don't think you can be a politician and have the heart of God.
Yeah.
So how did you like be like, okay, these are the things I want to do with me? Did you just like make that decision consciously, or things just led you to that?
Okay, so like I'm just gonna try and break down like my story really quickly. So I went to college for like 4 or 5 months, and I was like, this shit ain't for me.
What
like,
school was that?
It's St. Francis Xavier, SFX.
Okay.
So I went there for like 4 months. I was like, this shit ain't for me. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. And I said it's not for me. And like at that time, everyone was like, what do you mean? Like, so you're going to drop out of college and do what exactly? I said, I don't know. But like this college thing, I don't really see any huge success stories through going through a system very periodically. Like, oh, you finish at secondary school, you go to college, you finish college, you go to uni. I didn't understand the blueprint. I felt it was too structured. And I didn't think that I could thrive properly in life in that type of structure. So I think the first audacious thing I did was drop out of college, handed out my CV on DLR in Canary Wharf. I was about 16 then. And I got a job at KPMG. And I was doing an apprenticeship there doing tax fraud.
KPMG, the same KPMG.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's 16.
Yeah. So I was doing that. And then after that, I went to Westminster and House of Commons. Then after that, I went to Shell. And then my dad was like, you're taking the piss, go to uni. And I was like, but Shell was offering me, I think at the time, I was about 18 and a half. Shell was offering me like 75K. And my dad was like, nope, go to uni. If they're offering you 75K now, what would they offer you when you graduate? Like, you can't just keep freestyling. So me and my dad had a war. He didn't speak to me. I didn't speak to him. I went to uni because I was just like, for fuck's sake, let me just go, because this man's not going to let me rest. I don't think he'll forgive me if I don't.
What did you major in uni?
Law.
Law, wow, interesting.
Yeah, so law. So I went.
My sister did law too. Masters,
really?
She had a master's in law.
Oh, really?
Glasgow, yeah.
Oh, that's
amazing.
great.
Let me see that.
You can't win an argument with her, can you?
I don't try.
Okay, good. So I went to uni, I did law, and then I was like, oh, what's the point of just doing law? Like, am I not going to do the extra bits? So I done a master's in international governance, and then I done the bar in the UK. So I'm a barrister in the UK. Right. In between that, I stumbled into like politics and entertainment. I stumbled into politics because of passion. And I stumbled into entertainment because I had friends in the industry who didn't understand the business of it. Like, they just wanted to be artists. And I was just like, where's your business acumen? Like, where's your structure? Like, I started asking questions, and then I got involved in things. And then politics happened. I started working for Obasanjo. That was very audacious as well. Like, he was speaking at a panel. I went to the panel. I told everybody I was his PA at the panel. And then I literally started working from him in London from that. And then I done NSARS, the legal panel, international arbitration courts in Lekki. So we had a whole judicial
process,
panel.
yeah.
So I was international legal counsel for that. Then I came back to London after that, and I currently, as we are now, I am general counsel for a company called Event Horizon that owns Afro Nation and Rolling Loud, the festivals. And then my second job, I have 2 full-time jobs. My other job is the head of equality and access to justice for the England and Wales Bar. So I rewrite a lot of the laws in the UK. Sorry, I know this is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot
I'm
of
not
blessings.
trying to get it out all now. So
yeah. So
you can just ask
review from that. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm head of equality and access to justice in England and Wales. So that means, in a nutshell, I rewrite a lot of the laws. When cases go to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land, I look at the cases, I rewrite the laws and ensure that the laws have been drafted fairly, because a lot of the laws in the UK were drafted by old white men. So a lot of the cases when they go to court are simply unfair because of the way the laws have been drafted. Yeah. And then my other job is just to make sure that when we have international festivals, all the legal principles, all the partnerships, sponsorships, everything is in place. So yeah.
So that's a lot. At 25, you
I'm
didn't
not
have
25,
that.
I'm 25 in July.
Not 25 yet.
Yeah.
Wow, what was I doing my life at 25? I should not speak about that. So now my thing is, like, how do you, like, before we dissect everything you've been able to achieve, I just want to ask something like, how do you stay grounded in the middle of all that? Like, you being able to do that quickly, being able to be that blessed by God. How do you stay grounded?
Literally, I ask God to use me in everything that I do. I don't believe that I'm here by my knowledge or by my connect. Like, I genuinely believe that God has put me there. So I fear God in a lot of things that I do. I try to ensure that any decisions I make or like partnerships, like I'm always trying to just deal with things like in a Christ-like way. And then I guess, like, moving religion aside, like, anything can be taken away from you. Like, it's just a title. Do you get, like, someone can come tomorrow and tell me, do you know what, you're fired. My title goes. Like, we work so hard to become all of these titles, but even behind the titles, it's just human beings. So what's the blood that's running through you is running through me. So why won't I be grounded?
Yeah, I said I would feel the same fundamental emotions. The way we react is different. So you stay grounded because you know that God is trying to use you. So, you've had a lot of highlights. You've done a lot of things. Like, in your own world, which do you enjoy the most?
What do I enjoy the most?
Yeah. Which do you enjoy the most? What have you done that you enjoy the most? I'm like, I think I had the most fun doing that.
I think legacy or fun though. Fun or legacy? Which one?
A little bit of both. Let me mix both up. Okay, tell me one of each.
Okay, legacy or Obasanjo.
Yeah.
Working with him, doing like international arbitration cases, war disputes and stuff like that. That's legacy. I think fun. Afro Nation. Yeah.
You passing this summer in Portugal?
Yeah, I'm going to Miami on Monday.
Okay, you're going to be in Portugal too?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot of work though, but a lot of work. It's more work than it is fun.
Okay, put that more work in perspective for like the female like child that is listening to this that wants to become everything you've been able to become. So like, what's the work side of it? How does the work side comes into play? Like,
are you talking about for the festival?
Yeah, for the festival and the legacy. We'll talk about that. I like us to take it one at a time.
Okay. For like Afro Nation, I think like the work is in the partnerships, the work is in insurance, the work is in making sure everything is done properly, making sure we're following regulations.
A lot of paperwork,
a lot of ensuring that we're following regulations. Like, because when we're putting on these events, we need to make sure that we've covered all our loopholes, especially like with insurances. All the right insurances are in place to cover public liability, any type of insurance that is needed for a festival. I need to make sure that we have it on ground. I need to make sure that contracts are signed. I need to make sure we're signing fair contracts. People are not breaching contract during the whole festival. So all of these things is what I'm focusing on during health and safety. Like, these are the things that are my focus within the festival. So
how long does it last? How long does a festival last? How long is Miami? Is going to be 3 days.
It's 2 days, not 3 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
I take 3 days. Okay.
2 days.
So for those 2 days, you have to make sure everything is covered, like no loose ends.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. Okay,
I
think that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So in the legacy side, what's a lot of work there?
I think legacy is you're solving like you're doing war disputes. So you're looking at like ongoing wars. You're looking at previous wars. You're looking at how like countries can become more stable. You're looking at how the laws in those countries can be drafted to ensure that countries have better economies. So yeah.
Have you like? Did you like? I mean, I feel like you've done a lot, and this is kind of interesting. For like, I like to ask people this. Did you like when you started out? Did you ever consider like was money the motive for you when you started out?
No.
So you've never really taken an opportunity solely based on the money.
100% no. No, 100% not. Money is not my drive.
So what's the drive? Like I just like us to be
legacy.
Legacy. Like you like to leave a legacy behind.
Yeah, like I really want I feel like I'm at a point now where I have godchildren, I have nephews, I have nieces. Like I want them to be able to call when they're in trouble and say, "My auntie can fix this. Do you know who my mom is?" Like I want them to have that energy.
That's going to be your
100%.
Okay. Is there plans for that? Like, do you know who my mom is?
Yeah, I need my kids to be able, do you know who my mom is? Like,
that sounds
and
like,
I need them.
That sounds like some bragging rights.
No, 100. That's the bragging rights that I want. That's what I'm working for. Like I want my kids and like my nieces and my nephews and my godchildren to be like, do you know who my godmom is? Like, and not in Nigeria. Like I want them to be able to do that flex globally, like not just in Nigeria. Yeah.
So more like Davido kind of flex. Do you know who my godfather is? He carried me from US. Oh, for me that's big flex. I mean I like that. So let's now take it out like present day. I think you have 2-day job. How do you manage that? I mean with you being the young 25 pretty, I mean, how do you manage the 2 jobs with that?
How do I manage my 2-day jobs? It's the grace of God. I don't really like when people ask me how I do it. Like, okay, practical skills. Let me not just keep saying the grace of God. I think like I'm very good with time management, managing my time. I'm very proactive. I don't spend time in court. Bad lawyers go to court unless it's a strategy to go to court. Bad lawyers go to court. Like I'm settling. So like I am very, very like tactical and also very practical when it comes to my time, and I guess that's how I balance.
That's how you balance everything. Yeah. That sounds like so much bragging right for. So now I have a question. It's going to sound kind of intertwined like between work and do you have like personal time for yourself with all these things that you have to work with? You sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you like to do for fun? That's what I'm going at.
What do I like to do for fun?
Yeah, aside the whole work.
I'm a lady of leisure.
Them Otedala people. Do you know what Otedala said men of leisure?
No, I'm the lady of leisure. He copied it from me. Yeah, he did.
He copied the tweet from me. So you don't have to work to make a living. That's what he said.
That's his own one. Or it's just as a man of leisure. That's his own flex. His own flex is far ahead. But I'm sure that through our circles, it found his way to his own circle where he started calling it men of leisure, but it's ladies of leisure. Like I actually have a brand that I'm working on called Ladies of Leisure.
So what does Ladies of Leisure represent? Like?
Ladies of Leisure is not it's not women who are funded by other people, like for example men. Ladies of Leisure is becoming a lady of leisure within your means. So like doing what is luxury for you, and it's basically meant to be a community of ladies, colored ladies, black ladies, that do great things, and we're supposed to have like a rotating brunch all around the world. So like each continent will have a brunch where all of these ladies come together and like brands will sponsor and all of that, but that's all in the pipeline.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah. I said I wish to be a lady now and I'll pass. so aside that and okay, being young and successful, like where do you think, aside you like having things that you have in the pipeline, so how long do you think you're going to be practicing for? Because like it feels like you're practicing big time right now.
Yeah. How long do I think I'm going to be
practicing for before you become your own full-time lady of leisure?
God. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever stop practicing. I think that like obviously at some point I do want to like do the whole family thing, get married, have children, and I think at that point in time I want to be able to have done enough so I can park work and say that I just want to be a stay-at-home mom and actually invest in my children for a period of time before I go back to like working life.
Full
so
time.
I will take a break when that time comes.
I mean, this is more like me just trying to speak from like, I mean, I've been opportune to speak with people like here. Do you think it's easy for you as a woman to pursue your career to like, I mean, I think we once saw Michelle Obama talk about it that it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially for people like you that are successful at what you do.
Yeah.
Do you think the pause is going to be possible?
Absolutely, it's going to be possible by the grace of God. Yeah.
Because you want it.
I want it to be possible. It will be possible. I want to raise my kids presently. Like, I feel like everything you do, you want to be able to do it well. And I don't want to make mistakes in that era of my life. Like, I really do want to be a present mom. I want to be a present wife. I want to be all of those things. I don't want to, the same way I've put all of this effort into this particular time of my life, I don't want to do that part and not do it well. I'm not interested in not doing it well.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, you sound like someone down to perfect everything they do. Like, are you a perfectionist?
No, I'm not. But I just want to give my best to everything that I do.
I think that's me. Like, I just want to like make sure like, I used to say one thing like, I don't think you think about me and be like, I didn't try. That's my thing. As long as you can say like you tried.
Yeah.
I'm good to live with that.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not good to live with when people say you didn't try. Like, I mean, I just want to try. I mean, my work and might not work, but I mean, you know, like I tried, I gave my best. So you've been able to be like, okay, you have a plan. Like, this is what the future is going to look like for me. I just wanted to ask: is there any pressure that comes with you have achieved so much already in your career, the entertainment, being a lawyer, and everything? Is there any pressure that comes with that when you look at the things you want to get done going forward?
Yeah, 100%. Like. So to be very honest and to be very candid, I know this may sound crazy to you, but like I'm under a lot of pressure at the moment now. Like as I turn 25, I'm very much like intimidated. Like I'm like, God, this age, I know.
Sorry for cutting you. Like intimidated by what or who?
I just don't know if I've done enough. Like, and I know that sounds crazy, but like, okay, but can I say something? I'm not comparing myself to people who haven't done like what I've done. Does that make sense? So like when I tell certain people this, they look at me like, shut the fuck up, like look at us, so what should we say? But it's like, I'm not looking at you though. Do you get like, okay. I'm looking ahead, and because I'm looking ahead,
that's your flex.
Not even a flex, but I just feel like I want more. Like I'm grateful for what I have now, but I'm asking myself like, have I done enough? Like sincerely, like, is this enough?
Okay, let's take it back.
Yeah.
I understand like I mean, it talks about you. I understand like you just want more, and it's natural for you to be an ambitious person. When you're an ambitious person, is either you have it or you don't have it. Mm-hmm. More is always going to be what you demand from yourself. But do you think you've taken enough time to really let everything you've done marinate? Like, oh, we've done so much.
I intend to do that over the next few weeks. As soon as I get a week to myself, I haven't had a week like where I haven't worked in like I don't know how many years now. Like anytime I'm away, I'm always working. But so I haven't had time to like be by myself to reflect. But I'm gonna put like a weekend before I turn 25 to like
just reflect on
just
everything.
Reflect, pray.
But you've done. I mean, this is me like trying to say like most of us have known about you since like 4 or 5 years, like since the Obasanjo incident on Twitter and everything. You've done a lot for yourself on different level. I don't think some of us have the flex of saying, okay, this is what I want my legacy to be yet. Yeah. And at 25, you kind of have an idea of what legacy you want to leave behind because you've done things in that light already. So you doing that and you now saying, oh, I'm turning 25. Don't you think that's just you putting pressure on yourself?
I mean, maybe because the vision is so big. And like I feel like tomorrow is not promised as well. Like I don't live life like I have abundant amount of time. By the grace of God I do. But I like tomorrow is fully not promised. So it's like, okay, I want to do like crazy things. Like I want to change spheres. I want to take over Africa. Like I want to bring opportunities to Nigeria. I want to change industries, like global impact. Like that's what I want. And I'm like, okay, how close am I? Like, am I close enough? Like, is this enough?
Okay, now you saying is it enough is just one thing. Like everything you're saying, mommy hacks. When people tell you, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person that have spoken to you and told you like you've done great. Do you take that into account, or you just be like, I know, like, because me, I'm like that. Like, I mean, in my head, I don't think anything is enough. That's the way I am. I'm like, nah, we need to do more. But when people say to me, like, my guys say, okay, I think we've been able to do this, I just be like, okay, I think I take it into account, but I don't live on that. So do you take it into account at all? That's my question.
Guy, I don't even know, because like I was listening to a podcast the other day, and then the girl was saying like when you grow up in a Nigerian household, you're always told that two heads is not better. Like, does that person have two heads, basically? Like, and like I think maybe now, like I'm like, but so many people are doing like I'm not. Maybe I'm just looking at too many people that are great, or I'm surrounded by too many great people that I look at myself, and I'm like, I'm not doing good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, because I intentionally surround myself with people that are 10 times better than me. Like, I want to be the dumbest in every room.
Okay, I think you saying that, I listened to a podcast the other day. I was listening to this one guy, and he said you should practice the 33%.
Yeah.
He said, have you heard that before?
Yeah.
33% of the time, hang out with people that are better than you.
Yeah.
33% of the time, hang out with people that you think are your guys on the same stage. And 33% of the time, hang out with people that you think you need to give back to.
Yeah.
Because that way, you're learning, you're giving back,
Yeah.
and you relearn,
Yeah.
you are unlearning.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you are with people that are better than you, you need to unlearn and learn again. Then when you are with your mates, you are learning. It's a learning process for all of you. And when you are with people that are better than you, are giving back, you're teaching. So don't you think like you need to find a balance that's going to reduce the pressure for you?
I think I'm doing okay with finding the balance. Speaking on that 33% rule, I'm gonna name drop Humble Lukenga. He's like a wealth manager to like loads of MBA people in LA, like a huge big boy out there. He's done some crazy stuff, and I'm lucky enough to have him as a friend. And I remember like when we sat down for dinner, he said to me, Ami, you need to split the people in your life into 3 columns. Column 1, people that you love and you don't get to spend enough time with. Column 2, people that have been in your life for a long time, but they no longer add impact or beneficiary to your life. Column 3, people who you are interested in getting to know, and they haven't, like you're interested in getting to know, and you know they can add value to your life, and you replace column 3 with column 2. So you only have people in your life that you love that you don't get to spend enough time with, and people who are going to add to your life. And you basically get rid of everybody that's in your life that just because, oh, you're my guy now, we went to school together, or because of family or whatever, you get rid of all of those people. So I done that like maybe like last year. So now I only have people that I really love, and they're at whatever point in life. They don't need to be at the same point as me. And then I have people who are just doing way better than me. And because I'm surrounded by, my life is almost 50-50, not 33-33. So because I'm surrounded by people who are just doing so much great things, I am very much like, that's all I see.
Inspired.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I look at myself and I'm like, oh, look at what this one's doing. Oh, this one is my house in Sancho Preo. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a different flex.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure we put on ourselves is like the pressure of time is like the biggest pressure you can put on that you are going to face. And I think that's amazing. I mean, because it's done really amazing, and I pray the Lord takes you bigger.
Thank you.
Makes all the dream come true. No matter how big it is, with God, everything is possible. And not by power, not by might. So thank you for sharing your time with me. And so now I think we're coming to the end. I'd like to just ask you some personal questions, nothing serious. Just go with the flow.
Okay.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Night person.
Night person.
Yeah.
So you burn the candle all day, like?
Oh, I could do all day.
And do all night?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I prefer the night still.
Okay. So I mean, this question is very important. I like to know what your response is on it, because I feel like you have a bit of both flex. 9 to 5, or you're going to pick the grind over it? Which one are you going to pick again? With the whole experience you've been able to gather.
What, pick a 9 to 5?
Are you going to choose 9 to 5, or you just going to pick the grind, like just grind it out, like your ideas, instead of having a proper 9 to 5? You just go with grinding.
My jobs now are not proper 9 to 5s. They're like 12 to 12. Like I work on my own
schedule.
The work is going to be done, but like I'm not you can't put a gun to my head to do anything at any point in time. Like, I'll do it and it'll be done at a good standard, but I can't cooperate with a 9 to 5. No.
So you don't do 9 to 5? Wow.
Like, I don't take meetings on Friday. I don't take meetings before 10 a.m.
Wow, yeah, first. That's some big flex at 25. Like, you have your own schedule. I don't do this, I don't do that. And you're still putting pressure on yourself. I mean, you should go easy. So, saving or investing, which are you going to go for?
Saving. No, man, invest.
You stack it.
What do you save for?
You don't want to stack anything, no?
Stack for what? Like, if I'm saving to buy another.
It just talks about you. I don't know. It's not about me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I sorry.
So you rather invest everything?
Yeah, 100%.
Invest everything.
Yeah.
Alright. So, winter or summer?
Summer
every day.
100%.
Okay. I think what is it a PC or a Mac? Which do you like? Mac.
Yeah.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone, absolutely 100%.
Okay. Mental connection or physical attraction?
Mental connection.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
In a world of
mental.
Are you okay? It talks about you. I'm just asking. Mm-hmm. And that brings us to the end of my episode. I think I really had fun listening to you.
So much fun, guys.
Right. And that brings us to the end of another episode. It talks about you. I hope you like everything you've been able to learn from Amina, because I really had fun. I learned a lot sitting out with you in 30 minutes.
What did you learn?
I learned that the 50-50 is better than the 33%.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because, I mean, as ambitious as you get, you tend to, like, lose a lot of connection with people that loves you and you love. Because, I mean, I keep saying it's where I am at. I keep thinking, oh, I need to get something before I settle for something. Yeah. And it's making me lose people, like, yeah. So I think that makes sense. I'll replay it and just let it sink.
Well, thank you for having me.
Right, thank you for coming. I had fun shooting this.